Hi guys, so this morning I thought we should go over some of my 2019 favourites. I looked at the video from last year and some things are still the same, some things have sort of grown and some things are a little bit different. So let's just jump into what are my favourite things from this year. So one of the first things is the pencil collection. I still have it, it's grown and I kind of add markers and things, so I haven't actually gotten a full set like a 72 set or a 36 or anything. I've just collected my own sort of set there. And then the next thing is watercolors, and I've done the same thing with the watercolors. I've put them in this really nice Schmincke pastel box, and I've collected sort of my own. So I think pretty soon I'll do like a current swatch list, because I've taken some things out and I have kind of added some new things. So I might do like we'll make like a paint sort of color chart for this box, and then you can see all those colors. And then in here I keep my favorite dip pens, because I often use the inks while I'm using the watercolors. That's my favorite water brush, and just a variety of different paintbrushes. So here's a box that I have full of inks, and if you've been around my channel you know I love inks and using them with dip pens, using them in fountain pens, just using them with a paintbrush. So I have a little collection of those. I really enjoy using these. They're actually all sort of from the move. They're all just been, put in there with some tissue paper. So something that I have discovered this year is texture paste, and I've also been using a lot of ribbons, and like silk ribbons and cotton paper, so I really love those. And then another thing which you'll notice if you've seen any of my previous videos is a lot of lace, and so I've been using these actually this morning to photo some printables for the Etsy shop. And then also fabrics and yarns are always a staple in my sort of creative collection. And here's some of the lace. Something else I've enjoyed this year is pencil cases. So I don't really have a lot. Here you can see we're going to start filming, and I kind of showed you where the camera is. So if things are a little bit wonky, it's because the camera's right in front of me. So I think what we're going to do now is just swatch some of my favourite watercolours, or not necessarily my favourites either, just some of the different colours. And one of my favourite things to do is colour swatches, and then drop different colours into those other colours to kind of see how they mix and how they move on the paper and things like that. So I thought we would just do that for a minute. So in here is a collection of some Daniel Smith watercolors, the Daniel Smith, so the Gemstone, the sort of Primatech range, and then the Luminous range, like the pearlescent range. And I also have some Winsor & Newton Rivervale handmade ones, which I really love as well, and some Schmincke, which I really love. So those are kind of my go-to watercolors. And I actually have a page on, so like a blog post on my blog that just is dedicated to my favorite things, and I give links to all those things. So those are all still really relevant. So I will link that below as well, so you can go there and kind of have a look for some links for all these things. So the brush that I'm using here is a Da Vinci Petite Gris Pour. I'm not sure how you say that, but it's one of my favorite brushes. I feel like the handle is really too fragile, so I don't use it as often, but I really enjoy using it. I usually go for the Escoda number 6, but I wish this brush head was on like an Escoda handle, and then it would be the perfect brush. So you can see here I'm struggling with, this is a Champagne Gold from Riverdale, and it's a really nice colour, and I do end up using it, and you can kind of see the sort of splashes of it at the end, but you've got to leave the water on it for a little while to let it activate. And this is really my favourite part of watercolour, where the paper's still glistening and everything. And obviously this isn't watercolour paper, this is just the Strathmore drawing paper or sketching paper, but I really love this paper. And this notebook was just large enough that I thought we could just get a variety of materials onto this page. Okay, so I'm feeling like the Champagne Gold's ready now, and I am just going to use this brush. It actually works really nice as a splatter brush, so just kind of tap the top of it and it does some really nice shapes and movement on the page. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is inks. They are one of my favorites. I use them all the time, and these are some of my favorites. The Winsor & Newton Gold, the Rose Gilt Tint by Robert Oster, and then I've been really enjoying this Fluoro Pink and the Dr. P.H. Martin's Raspberry at the minute, so I've been just sort of dropping them on pages like that, then tipping the page up sometimes and letting it run, but there was just too much on the desk to sort of do that today. So this is the Rose Gilt Tint, and it actually goes on kind of brown, but when it dries with a really nice sort of raspberry silver middle, and yeah, you'll see it in a little while. It's really, really nice. So I'm just going to show you as well the other way that I like to use it, with a dip pen and to kind of sketch or, write. And I have another whole video on how to use the dip pen if you're interested in that, or how, I like to use it. So you can see the Rose Gilt Tint is already starting to dry there. It's already getting that really nice silvery kind of colouring to it. And so I'm just kind of showing you one of the other ways that I really enjoy using the inks, and particularly the gold ink, is on watercolour when it's still a little bit wet. Sometimes you get some really nice sort of blooms from that. So I didn't today, but I just really enjoy layering the inks over the top of watercolors. So now I'm gonna show you how I write with the gold ink, and I think we're just writing Christmas. Oh no, first of all I'm just gonna kind of sketch something as well at the top of the page here and show you it's such a nice way to create and use kind of these tools. I really enjoy using the dip pen and inks. So you can see here the champagne gold and the rose gilt tint splotches next to each other. So how different but how nice both of those are. And then I'm just writing for you with the dip pen here, but you don't have to start with anything fancy with this. Just you know, you can try it and sketch with it, you can doodle with it, you can just do regular handwriting or anything. It's just a really exciting tool to have. And I was not very good with this when I first started with it, and I watched a lot of, especially on Instagram, a lot of lettering. You can just type in hashtag lettering or something like that, and I just watched people write, you know, over and over different letters until I sort of figured out which ones that I liked and how I wanted to use it. Okay, so now we're going to get into a few of the different pencils that I like, I think. So I'm showing you an overview of the desk there. It's pretty messy and pretty tight squeeze. So I am kind of on the one side here, so it might all get a bit cramped, but I'm just kind of going to try and show you through a few of the different things that I've enjoyed. So these I got off Jet Pens. They're Stabilo. They're little chunky pencils. They're really nice to use actually for sort of sketching and different things, and they're also water soluble, so you can, you know, use water and activate those. One of my other favorites are these Neocolor 2s. So these are, again, they're water soluble, and yeah, these are really nice and creamy, so I just really enjoy these. And then this is the Cretacolor Monolith. So these are also watercolor, so you can see I kind of gravitate towards watercolor type pencils, but I do have a few that aren't in there as well. But I really like these. They have a very fine sort of consistency, so they're different to the creaminess of the other ones. You can see here though you do have to press a little bit harder, and they're also quite good for building up layers as well. And then this is a Soho something. I got a couple of these just because I really liked a couple of the pastel colors. And then this is a Pitt pen. You can't really see, but I'm going to show you the difference in a little while between the, like, you know, just between a few different brush nibs. And then this is a Stabilo Carbothello. I really like these. These are a sort of chalk pencils, so they smudge. They're really nice pencils, but you've just got to be careful how you use them and things like that, because they will, you know, release that pigment. And so here I'm just kind of showing you the watercolor on, you know, activating the crayons and pencils with the water. So something else I just enjoy are jelly rolls, any kind of you know, pens like this, just a few different colors to do highlights and create different effects like this. So one of the other pencils I enjoy are the Derwent Pro Colors, just because I like the pastel colors that they have. And these are, I think, some Derwent's pastels as well. but I think what I'm looking for here is, and I love these ones as well, the Caran d'Ache Super Soft. But I'm looking for, I think, a museum aquarelle. I also like the Prismacolors. You can get those at Michael's. They're good value. So this is what I was looking for. I really like these. I think it's the most expensive pencil that I own, and I only have the one, but it's a really nice pencil. And again, it's water soluble as well. Okay, we are nearly at the end of the video. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's been a long week, but here we have, I'm just showing you a couple of the Derwent Pro colors. So they have these really nice soft colors, which I really enjoy. They're really good for soft shadows and also for highlights and things like that. So I wanted to also show you, this is one of the Super Softs, and just show you how that activates with water as well. I'm just realizing now that I forgot to activate the leaves to show you how the Museum Aquarelle activates, so sorry about that. I will do that in another video. So this actually didn't turn out very well, but again, because like I'm behind the camera thing and I'm not really seeing what I'm doing, but yeah, I do enjoy these for like using to shade, like, you know, to put shadows in things. And you can see here, I don't even know how to spell at this point, but we get through it. So I had intended this to be the end of the video, but then I realized I just wanted to show you the difference between the Pitt pen and the Eco, what are they called? The Eco line. And so I'll just do that quickly so you can kind of see the difference in you know, the brush strokes, if you want to use them for brush lettering or just in your artwork in general, the difference, you know, of the strokes. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. I'm going to leave you with my favourite sound from the pencil box. Just looking for things through there. I love that. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.